Hello my dear students, today we are going to start a new chapter of 11 Science Physics, which is chapter number 10, Mechanical Properties of Fluids. Right, so here in title we have very important word, it is fluid. Now what do you mean by fluid? How can you define fluid? So we can define fluid like a substance that can flows easily is known as fluid. Right. So here I am writing a substance that can flows easily is known as fluids. Right. So this is the definition, and we all are aware about the liquid. We know in case of liquid, right, it can easily flow. So we can consider liquid as a fluid. But in similar way, gases are also to be considered as liquid, and gases both are considered as or both can flow. So and therefore they are also to be considered as fluid. Right. We know in case of liquid it is very simple, it can flow easily, but in case of gases, if the gas is leaked near about us, then we can easily smell it. Right. So it means it can travel or it can flows easily. Right. So here in case of fluid we can consider liquid as well as gases both as a fluid. Right. Now the second point is very important point, which is differentiate between liquid and gas. How can we differentiate or distinguish between liquid and gas? Liquid and gas. How can we differentiate between liquid and gas? So here we can say in case of liquid, liquid is incompressible. Right. Liquid is incompressible. Right. Whereas in case of gas, which is easily compressible, it is easily compressible. This is the first difference between liquid and gas. And in case of liquid, it has a fixed volume. Right. It has a fixed volume and free surface. We know that liquid has a fixed volume. Right. We can place it anywhere, but it has a fixed volume and it has a free surface also. But in case of gases, we know it fills entire volume of the container. Right. In case of gases, it fills the entire volume of the container. Right. And it has no free surface and it has no free surface. Right. So this is the difference between liquid and gas. Gas can fills the entire volume of the container. Right. If you have considered any body. Right. And if you have filled the gas in that particular body, means it takes it fills the entire volume of the container. right, and it has also no free surface. So this is the basic difference between liquid and gas. Now the next very important point. How can you differentiate between liquid body and solid body? Right. Differentiate, or you can say distinguish between liquid body and solid body. So what is the difference between liquid body and solid body? Right. So we know in case of solid, the shape of solid can be changed. Right. We know shape of the solid can change, but with keeping its volume fixed. Keeping its volume fixed. Right. So in case of solid, we can change the shape of particular solid body, but entire shape of the body will be constant, will be fixed. Right. Clear? This is the first difference between liquid body and solid body. But in case of solid body, the value of shear stress is large. Right. In case of solid body, value of shear stress is large. That we know. Right. If we want to change, or if we want to deform the solid body, the required shear stress is large in case of solid body. Right. So this is the second difference. Now in case of liquid, so shape of fluid change by application of, we know the shape of fluid changed by, in case of fluid or in case of liquid, we know if we are applying the small amount of shearing stress, then it can easily, means the shape of that particular fluid can be easily changed. The shape of fluid changed by application of very small shear stress. Very small shear stress. Now the second one is the shearing stress of fluid is about, we know that in case of solid we require a large value of shear stress, and in case of fluid or in case of liquid we are required the small amount of shear stress. So if we compare with regard to shearing stress, then the shearing stress of fluid is about million times smaller than that of solid. Smaller than that of solid. So this is the difference between liquid body and solid body that you can say. Right. So here this is the difference between solid body and liquid body. The next is which are the two different parts of fluid mechanics. Right. If we consider the fluid mechanics, which are the different branch fluid mechanics have. Right. So in case of fluid mechanics we have two branch to deal with. The first one is The first one is fluid statics and second one is fluid dynamics. These are the two branches of fluid mechanics, fluid statics and fluid dynamics. Now what happened, or what are the basic properties, or which are the different things that we have to consider in case of fluid statics? So fluid statics, which is ultimately the branch of fluid mechanics, right, in which what we have to study, the forces and pressure acting on a stationary fluid. Are studied, right? So here in case of fluid statics, the forces and pressure acting on a stationary fluid, this is important word, right? Here we have to study the fluid statics. In case of fluid statics, the fluid must be stationary position, right? So fluid must be in stationary position. So forces and pressure acting on a stationary fluid are studied in case of fluid statics. And in case of fluid dynamics, which is also the branch of fluid mechanics, right? Here what you have to study, the motion of fluid, the motion of fluid and properties related to it, right? So in case of fluid dynamics, what we have to study, motion of fluid and properties related to it, how the pressure affects when the fluid is in motion, how the force is different, how the forces affect when the fluid is in motion, right? So that we have to understand in fluid dynamics, right? So here we have discussed the introduction of chapter mechanical properties of solid. In next lecture we will discuss the pressure. The very important term is pressure, right, in detail. Now my dear students, next topic is thrust and pressure. What do you mean by thrust? What is the unit of thrust and what is the dimension of thrust? In similar way, we will discuss what is the definition of pressure, what is unit and dimension of pressure, right? So first we will discuss thrust and then we will discuss pressure. Now how can you define thrust? So the thrust is simply a force, right? Thrust is simply a force. So force applied on a surface in a direction perpendicular to the surface is called thrust. So in the definition of thrust, what is it? Force. Thrust is a one kind of force which is applied on a surface but in a direction perpendicular to the surface is called thrust. Now it's very easy to define its unit. So SI unit of thrust is Newton, which is defined by symbol N, right? And for dimension formula we can easily derive from the equation of F equal to ma. The dimension formula is m1 l1 t minus 2. So this is the concept of thrust. Now we will discuss the concept of pressure in detail. Now what do you mean by pressure? So the pressure is nothing but it is the force acting on a surface per unit area, right, and in a direction perpendicular to surface is called pressure on the surface. So the definition of pressure, here I am writing the force acting on a surface per unit area in a direction perpendicular to it, means surface, is called pressure on the surface, is called pressure on the surface. So this is the definition of pressure. Simply it is force per unit area. Now if I want to write SI unit, then it will be Newton per meter square, right? And in the form of equation, pressure P is defined as force per unit area, means F by A. So this is the equation of pressure, and SI unit is Newton per meter square, or simply you can write Pascal, and its CGS unit will be dyne per centimeter square, right? So this will be the SI unit and this will be the CGS unit. Now it's very easy to derive the dimension formula. So the dimension formula is m1 l minus 1 t minus 2. So this is the concept, basic concept of thrust and pressure. Now the next point is pressure is pressure scalar quantity or vector quantity? Pressure is a scalar quantity or vector quantity? Which quantity pressure is? So the pressure is simply a scalar quantity. Pressure is scalar quantity. Why? Because in every case on in any surface, the force is acting, the pressure is acting perpendicular to the surface. That's why it is a scalar quantity. It has no particular direction, but in any case it will be the perpendicular or it will be the normal to the surface, because at a point fluid pressure is equal in all direction, so it shows that no direction needed to show the pressure. So it shows that no direction is needed to show the pressure. Suppose if we consider the liquid is at rest, then at particular point the force is exerted in all the direction, and that's why the net force is zero and fluid is in rest condition, right? So it is shows that no direction is needed to show the pressure. That's why it is a scalar quantity. And moreover, we know the pressure P equal to F by A, right? This is the simple formula of pressure P, right? So here we have discussed the concept of thrust and pressure, right?